Well, I'm gonna start with the She-Hulk and the Sunspot because they're just like kind of feels like home with Moon Girl. I think there is something to thinking about having Proxima basically be your only really expensive card.
Oh, snap.
Yorian mentioned gave me PTSD, yep. So that way your Lady Sif can just put 7 points into play. Proxima? Proxima? Well, in a roundabout way. My next card's turning into a demon here, unfortunately. Think it's just Blade been the Proxima? Animation looks good. Oh, come on. You were right about needing a copy of armor. Sure was. I think anybody telling you whether or not they feel Proxima is worth it after the card's been out for 15 minutes is probably someone you shouldn't be listening to. And then next turn, I get to go Dakin here, Wasp, Cowling Wing, Shard, trigger both the Dakins getting huge. Yes, final answer. X23 is the nuts, yes. No, me can't move. The center's full. Get casserole, buddy.
Victory.
That's cracked! Proxima's cracked! Head to Discord and ask for nerfs. You know the drill. I'm gonna play the rocks out because if we draw Moon Girl, I want space in my hand to clone cards I care about. Cups half full, we know which location Proxima would jump to. Chunderman, thank you for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Good afternoon. Draw Proxima next turn. One of the things that's interesting about the She-Hulk package in this deck is it makes it so Moongirling on 5 is a bit worse, and Proxima's good at Moongirling on 5. So I definitely want to try a Moongirl build that also doesn't have Proxima. Or that also doesn't have She-Hulk, I mean. Sorry. What do words mean anyways? This is pretty good, yeah. I guess I could get leeched. Makes the snap bad. X23, I know she won us that location the last game, but X23 is looking kind of mid here. It's probably not a card that's long for this build. No, I actually want to Colleen after. I want to Colleen after, so that way, yeah, there's another turn, but I kind of just want to make my plays this turn. Like, it's a little bit worse cube equity, but I need the thing over here, right? So I want to Colleen first, because Colleen's going to choose at random from my 5 cards. And if I Colleen first, she'll be 40% to hit a blade as opposed to 1 in 25%. If their Misty hits the middle again, they could get us, but otherwise we're okay. That's a Silver Conquest, and I kind of want to change my deck anyways, so... No, I don't want to play Killmonger in my Sunspot deck. Like, I think X23 is probably just not a card I want to play. It felt real clicky. Wilco, thank you for the 2/3 of a year, or half a year. Welcome back. All right, chat. Well, I think about our last card here. I'm going to go ahead and tap the ads button. We'll see you in 120 seconds. We're going to play a whole bunch of Moongirl Proxima to start, and then we'll probably move on to some MODOK builds not long after. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere. Maybe we'll mix Moongirl and MODOK at a certain point, too. It probably makes sense. You could Moongirl on 5, MODOK on 6, dump 2 Proximas too, right? It's probably pretty reasonable. Regretting not getting Meek. Meek is Series 4. I think if you like discard decks, having Meek as a token pickup is very, very reasonable. Thank you, love. Quinjet. I don't think Quinjet's very good. We're mostly onesie, twosies. I just play something cheap like Ham, but I probably actually want it to be a 2-drop for Colleen Wing purposes, huh? You play discard list where Meek feels optimal. Meek feels really good in the Morbius collector style discard lists. Well, 2 Proximas both go to the same location. I would assume the second Proxima considers the power that the first Proxima added wherever she was at. Would be my base assumption, but we haven't actually had that happen yet to know. You have an album notification. Yeah, the album notifications are bugged since the last patch. You just constantly have one. Those plebs are coming in from the adverts chat. They thought they were safe, but I've got one more for them here. My wonderful wife just brought me down my factor meal for the day. We've got some tofu and rice with peppers and beans. Some kind of sauce. Hold on. Sauce is what makes life worth living. That's good. And some kind of fruit here? Mangoes or something? Nice little bit of sweet. If you want delicious meals delivered straight to your door, ready to heat and eat, check out our sponsor, Factor 75. They're feeding me all month, and they're lovely. How many calories is in that? My wife has the sleeve upstairs. Usually the meals are somewhere between 500 and 700, though, depending on what you ordered. As a sauce connoisseur myself. Well-prepared tofu, chat, is truly wonderful. If you've never had well-prepared tofu, you're missing out. And this certainly qualifies. I think I'm gonna wait one more turn before I play a card out here, so that way this doubles on 4. I could be right to just play Meek as well, though. I get my hand empty. It's close. Yeah, I'm gonna play Meek. Reality Stone this to draw a card. Huh? Hey, John, thanks for the membership on the YouTube side. Appreciate it.
Snap.
Snap on the second Hulk, copy my armor. See, the auto-generated Proxima deck is a standard discard deck with a random annihilation. You must be missing a card it wants to play, CJ Thorne. That's something that the auto deck tool definitely needs work on. When you're missing a card for the ideal deck it wants you to build, it just like throws in a random high win rate card, which occasionally gives you very unsynergistic things like that. You're missing Meeker Corvus, yeah. It's Token Tuesday, the optimal use of gold if you don't care about variants. Token Tuesday is a fine use of gold, assuming, it's a fine use of gold, assuming you're looking to turn gold into tokens. Okay, we're gonna gamble in a couple of different ways this turn. We're gonna Lady Sif, hopefully bin this into here, and then move Meek out. Snap, but I'm trying to follow how to spend my gold, but I'm a little bit lost. If you want to progress up the collection level track faster, spending gold to reroll extra missions every day is fine if you're playing enough to do those. Just gonna go ahead and leave. Competing with destroyed clothing vats after we brick that.
Escape.
If you're looking to get collector's tokens faster for Series 4 and 5 cards, buying the Token Tuesday bundles is fine with your gold. Really depends on if you want to get more Series 4 and 5 stuff or if you're looking to finish up Series 3 a little bit quicker. Depending on which cards you have in your collection already, can kind of determine which of those two things are better to do. And what type of decks or cards you're interested in playing.
Victory.
Hey, Catherine, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go upstairs and check the slip for this factory meal. Simply the best one I've had so far. They have new meals on their menu every week, but eventually if you stick with them for a little bit, they'll get some repeats. This will be one I'll keep an eye out for again. Do I want to draw cards? Probably. Ooh! Oh, holy crap. And we drew Wasp too? Well, that's great. Do I do this and just bin one of the random cards I'm pulling just to keep my hand size manageable so I can Moon Girl these two? I think so. That's really funny slash weird that Quantum Tunnel behaves differently than Lockjaw does. Some interesting spaghetti mess you got there, Second Dinner. They redrew Killmonger out of the freaking Quantum Tunnel. Fucker. This is actually kind of an absurd last turn for us, though, yeah? This spins the shard. Honestly, I probably just want to keep this out, yeah? I kind of want to try this without the She-Hulk stuff. That was sweet. That was kind of like what I was thinking about the deck doing when we drew it up, right? I don't know. Maybe we need the redundancy from She-Hulk, but maybe we don't. I kind of want to try like maybe we don't. Dakin's kind of Moon Girl redundancy too, right? Copying Dakin's fine. Yes, the She-Hulk makes Lady Sif awkward. For sure. If the only Lady Sif targets are Proxima and Moon Girl, that's probably a good place to be, right? Well, so subbing out She-Hulk for MODOK doesn't really make Lady Sif less awkward, right? Is the thing? We could try Wolverine Modok. Do I need Lady Sif if I'm on the Modok plan? Probably not. Something that's appealing to me is Quinjet. Quinjet would let me go Moon Girl on 4 into double Dakin on 5. And double Dakin on 5 into Modok on 6 is like genuinely powerful, right? It gives us 2 16 power things to play out. Right, let's try a game or two with this. Your FOMO on Proxima's place. Card's been out for less than an hour. I have no idea. Not a clue.
Snap.
I think I'm just gonna snap aggressively inside of Gold now too, since we're in Infinite Conquest Week. I think Nico is best in slotted discard decks. I don't think I have enough experience playing a lot of these discard decks to really answer that question. I also think a lot of these non-Hella discard decks probably aren't very good. The Proxima auto deck is something. It's fine. We're probably gonna play something that's like 1 card off it later. If you're missing Meek and Corvus, it might look a little awkward. But if your collection complete, it seemed fine. Okay, so they're playing the Abomination build. I think I want to do this, so that way if we draw Moon Girl next turn, it's good. We're probably supposed to leave when they raise the stakes. Without having Moon Girl in hand already. Yeah, stay, I don't care. Oh, right. They're a high Evo deck that's a Shang-Chi deck. So we should have armored the middle. As format gamers. This must be someone posted a high Evo deck on Twitter. It was like, this is my cook, it's really good. And it was just high evolutionary with Shang-Chi, Zabu, and Enchantress in it. I was just like, yes, I believe you, it's really good. Cook, probably not so much.
Escaped.
Do you hook in a microwave by chance? Here's a Proxima mid-range deck with the Stature, Killmonger, Samurai. You have a really hard time discarding your Proxima with Samurai. Also, I think trying to play Stature into a field full of Hela seems like a fool's errand.
Oh, snap.
Hey, this game sucks. Thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. High Evo is still a snap deck, making it a Shank deck. Accurate. If I do this, next turn I'll be able to Moon Girl. If I do this, next turn I'll be able to Moon Girl the Shard. Although taking our time to do this is not great. Okay, well now we can do this, yeah? And get double. Hey, this is how we drew it up, yep. Although I suppose the Proximas are gonna want to go into Luke's Spar, right? Which is not good. If we play MODOK into the bar, the Proximas both go right, yeah? Because this will be 11 versus 12? Or does this bounce back to my hand first? I actually don't know. Let's find out. I don't care about the result of this game. I think this ends with both Proximas going right. Which also might not be enough. It's only adding 16 on the right. Oh my god, the Proximas just got smaller from the Scorpion. Okay, so that answers the other question we were talking about earlier, which is each Proxima checks individually which location is winning. They don't both decide when discarded. The first one goes and the second one rechecks after the first one is gone. Because this Proxima hit here and we were at 12 here, and then this one shows at random between the two 12s. Yeah, MODOK discard. Yeah, technically left to right the way MODOK discards. Yeah, that was a good match to learn from, for sure. Self. Thank you for the 3rd of a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. You know what I might try? So on the secondary channel, usually I post longer like stream cuts highlights. For today's highlight, I might post this whole segment where we started with the first Moon Girl shell and are iterating on it instead of just a single deck being the post. Usually I look for a single deck, but it might be interesting to see how that performs with the new card as we experiment and iterate. Yeah, it's like the full science segment. And then we'll have a more end resulty one for the edited channel tomorrow. No, the fast forward feature will regularly fast forward and not show you things your opponent discarded. It is truly atrocious and needs to be fixed. It's the story behind your Pokemon tweet. I'd encourage you to look at the message underneath the Pokemon tweet that's threaded with it. I think we're probably dead. Our deck really needs more space than this. Hopefully their deck does as well. Copy-paste deck class. Thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. Continue taking my Bezo bucks while destroying my productivity at work. I try. This game's kind of in a mediocre spot, and this person is full roping us on turn 2 in the Proving Ground, so I'm gonna give them 1 silver ticket to fuck off, please, and we will try again. Snap desperately needs to rework its entire timer system. First couple of turns are way too long, and there's no penalty for just burning the timer like that. Surprised the first 2 turns don't just have the Agatha timer. No joke, they should. They should be as short as the Agatha timer is. The Agatha timer is so short. Chat, I would full-time play a Marvel Snap game mode where everybody's timer is every single turn with the Agatha timer. Would actually just be the perfect way to play Marvel Snap for me. I'm gonna wait 1 more turn here to see if we can spike the copy mode on Nico to copy deck in. Golby, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back.
I am reborn.
I want to dig for Moon Girl, I think. I dig for Moon Girl, Modoc? It's probably wrong. I just want to do the thing, though. We could DAC in Nico this turn. Yeah, but then I don't have time to Moon Girl my Proxima. You're probably correct that that is optimal, but... I wanted the Moon Girl real bad, chat. There's 13 up to 37, up to 41. It dumps a bunch of cards for value. Do I do this to basically punt here? Only going to 41 over here though, right? So if they only need a little bit to beat me. 28, 34. Do I do this just to keep them honest, and then this puts Proxima into the center? And then Meek and Wolverine play for here? Let's try this. I think we're a little short, yeah?
Enough said, bub.
Oh, by that much? Zelvin Rens, thank you for the 5 months. Appreciate that. Welcome back. Nola Link coming in hot for the 5er as well. S'mores are good. Thank you for the 3rd of a year. Slick. Slick. The Meek shall inherit the Marvel Snap, gamers. I believe. I believe. Boom. Boom. This deck is doing some stuff. So far, it's felt okay. Our numbers probably aren't good enough against stuff like Hela, though. Yeah, the Toxic Negative deck's really solid. Just at a low bar, it's easily the best Havoc deck I've played ever. Loki's a good innovation in that build. That'll do, pig. That'll do.
Victory.
I love Armor Chat. She's wonderful.
Opponent snapped.
And just 2 bad locations for us.
Escaped. Opponent snapped.
All right, fingers crossed we win the priority flip on 2. So we can armor this. Why did I put Quinjet in this deck? Because I want to be able to play 2 copies of Dakin on turn 5. Safety dance. Safety dance. Do do do. Do do do. This is an awkward turn for us. What's this? I can do this and hope to win the 50-50 on the shard to then double my Proximas. But if I lose this 50-50 and don't draw Modok, I get into a lot of trouble. However, if I lose this 50-50 and do draw Modok, it's kind of incredible. So we will have 2 shots at Modokerson here. X23 is shit in this deck, and Nico is a very good Marvel Staff card. Please don't cut my good card for a shit card. Rats, unlucky. Unlucky. Truly unfortunate series of events there. We both lost the 50-50 on Colleen and then lost the 40%er to draw Modok.
Escaped.
Have either of those 2 things break our way? Does drop Wasp and have 11 cards? Chavez! Chavez! Good read / play from the opponent. Assuming our stat means armor and then taking their cards that care about being destroyed and splitting them up here. Astute observation from them. Well, I got Bucky in the same path as the other. It seems a little strange. I thought you want that off of there. We're hoping to peel Moon Girl for next turn. Dakin's probably our second best draw. Colleen Wing, Quinjet, and Wasp are all bricks.
Enough said,
Well, don't have to worry about Meek filling the danger room at least. Rocket Bud. We're dead.
enough said, Bubba.
Doing more discardy things feels okay in the games where everything's going our way, but in these games where we don't have everything operating at maximum efficiency, I really wish I had a secondary game plan, yeah. The Sunspot She-Hulk definitely was missed in a lot of these games. You know who else we're gonna miss, chat? The non-subs who are gonna spend 2 minutes watching these adverts. We'll see you in 120 seconds. I think I'm gonna shuffle some cards around here and play a little bit more of this for the next segment before we move on to the next Proxima deck. Thanks for hanging out. Don't go anywhere today. BRB subs, I'm running to the bathroom. Gotta fill my water bottle. Apologies, opponent! I was already midway through using the bathroom when I heard the sound in my headset that made me realize I forgot to concede. Opponent thinks for being a salty little bitch when in reality we just walked away. Navier, thank you for the 69-month resubscription. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back, and thank you for the truly nice amount of months. Roping out of spite, exactly. This made us rage quit, yep. I hate the MODOK bit. Wolverine just feels like it's probably not powerful enough. Like I feel like I need another way to make a number. Is it Morbius? Is Morbius big enough? Morbius is probably 8 to 12 with some consistency, yeah? But I probably just can't... We do have enough boosters to split the new deck in, huh? I feel like I need a things to do for we don't draw MODOK. I'm gonna try and build without MODOK again. All right, hold on. I need credits to split deck in, which means I need to buy the White Queen bundle really quick. Hold, please. Hold, please. I think trying to play Stature into a field of people playing Hela is an incredible mistake. I think I'd rather go back to playing a few more games with the Sunspot She-Hulk stuff. Sif as the extra. Restart the old client real quick here so our purchase can show up. Maybe someday if they make White Queen playable again, we'll play with that variant. It's a nice variant. I can always tell the people who haven't played with enough Nico Minaru because they keep suggesting I cut fucking Nico Minaru from the deck that I'm playing her in. Chat, you don't play enough Nico Minaru. She's one of the best cards in the game. If I put her in a deck, she belongs in the deck. Stop trying to cut her. Mikey not playable because doesn't have a spot in a meta deck. She's just outclassed. There's just much better options. Proxima seems to be power creep. So that's such a weird shit. I don't understand what you think power creep means if you think Proxima is power creep. If anything, I think there's a real chance that Proxima might not be enough stats to be relevant. Well, that's a hideous border. I'm happy I've got a red border effect on this. So we'll upgrade this one through again, digging for gold. I think it's really strange to call Proxima power creep. The types of kind of mid-sized things that don't die to Shang largely have people going over the top of them in this format with things like Hela. So I'm currently skeptical. I'm currently skeptical that she's gonna necessarily be good enough. Is the new card worth it? No one knows the answer to that question yet. Card's been out for an hour and 12 minutes. People said Black Swan is power creep too. So again, this is why people don't understand the definitions of words, because you laughing about calling Black Swan power creep is silly, because Black Swan is power creep. So Black Swan isn't a very good card and isn't particularly strong in the current metagame, but before Black Swan, every single 3/5 in Marvel Snap had an ability that was sometimes a drawback. Proxima, in comparison, does not have any cards that she draws a direct comparison to where she's just strictly better than them, right? The closest thing to Proxima in Marvel Snap is Wolverine, but Wolverine has very clear express synergies with other things you can be doing. It has destroy synergies, right? So that's different than what we're talking about here. Yes, a 3/5 with no downside is power creep, but it's also not necessarily too good or too strong. Both of those things can be true. It's better than many other 4-cost cards with little downside. That's not a hot take, it's just a wrong take. Saying something that's stupid doesn't qualify as hot, gamer. Again, and I feel this just comes back to gamers frequently wanting to draw comparisons between things. Frequently wanting to draw comparisons between things that don't make sense to draw comparisons between. Saying that Proxima's a 4/7 that has an upside makes her strictly better than a bunch of other 4 energy cards ignores the context around all of those other cards. It's very silly. Okay, so they have 4 swarms and 7 years ago. The best destroy decks with Wolverine. They do not. Well, they also have Apocalypse. We dead then? I think we're dead then. RC, thank you for the quarter of a year. A lot of the silly things people like to say really stem from that idea of trying to make strictly better, strictly worse comparisons between things that don't make sense to draw comparisons between. The update did not get rid of the fast forward on MODOK. That feature is just incredibly inconsistent. And this is, Proxima's super awkward here, right? Like, I don't really have a way. I guess I could do this, and this forces a Proxima left, but I'm still probably losing the left, yeah? Yeah. Her always going to your, and this is actually an interesting deck building consideration thing that I hadn't really thought about. Proxima always going to your lowest power location means that the decks that want to play her probably need to be looking to play to all 3 locations more frequently. It's a thing to consider. That was something I didn't really think about when I was first looking at her as a card. She's always jumping to my lowest. I need my lowest power, especially if I'm gonna have her jump to the lowest. I guess rephrase. If I'm playing a deck that explicitly wants to discard her on the last turn, then I need to be playing a deck where I'm contesting the place where I have the least power on the last turn. Or you need to somehow fill the lowest power location. Yeah, that's not really feasible without playing for it, though, Steric, a lot of the time. Sure, Johnny, but that deck needs to be built differently, yeah? Like, this deck is built in a way that it wants to have her effect happen, yep. It wants to have her effect happen on the last turn. I think she could work well with Storm. That's an interesting thought. That could be something worth exploring. That idea. Storm and Miss Marvel is interesting, but I don't know how that's not just better than running Jessica Jones. Whoa, whoa, whoa! We just banned someone for chat for telling me how power crept Proxima was compared to other 4-drops. Very clearly, Proxima is better than Jessica Jones. The Twitch chatter wouldn't have been so adamant that we had to remove them if that wasn't the case. I wanna soak up the sun, gonna slam a She-Hulk and make my Dakin huge. It's actually a pretty solid last turn here, doing something without Proxima. That's something, one of the things that the She-Hulk package does, right? We wanted multiple things to do that could be good here. Okay, so they have a 12 power Apocalypse. They bin Swarm. Okay, 12 power Apocalypse puts them to 21 here. This puts me to 22. 2 Colleen Wings in the center puts me to 14, and then plus 12 is 26. So this is beating Apocalypse in both of these lanes. If they have Blade as well from the extra energy on Corvus, we could lose, but otherwise I like our spot here.
Victory.
That's a slick Moon Girl game for us. I liked it. Oh. Any thoughts on Proxima so far? She has more deck building considerations than I first realized she had at a glance. Should be interesting to pick them apart a little bit. I do also enjoy any excuse to load up Moon Girl, though, yeah. Think about MODOK Strong Guy. MODOK Strong Guy could be something worth trying at some point. So, one of the problems with MODOK decks, generically, is that a lot of the time they just kind of suck in the games where you don't draw MODOK. Is problematic. I don't know, I don't know how you build a strong guy MODOK deck that's not just like complete hot dog water in the games where you don't have MODOK. And then the other side of that is if it's hot dog water when you don't draw MODOK. Okay, well, when you do draw MODOK, how good is it? The answer is probably not very, right? You like Wong and Hellcow? Yeah, maybe there's a build where you're playing like Corvus and Wong and Hellcow and all these other cards that like do stuff like that. It's fine. Like that's probably the direction to go. And we're gonna try some non-Moon Girl builds that just like empty their hand tier. I'll play like 1 or 2 more with this, and we'll probably kick over. Alright, snap me back. I'm staying, but it doesn't feel good.
Opponent snapped.
We're gonna be able to Moon Girl our She-Hulk, so I ain't leaving. Sif, Proxima, and Surfer. That's cute. Folks have been asking about why we're playing Wasp. This is why we're playing Wasp. Moon Girl always copies left to right, so having a free card I can deploy from my hand in a spot like this to give me finer control over who I'm Moon Girling is fantastic. It's very, very good for us. This is something to think about, though, in this deck is a spot like this. Our opponent's deck is very linear, and I genuinely don't know that we're going to be able to make enough numbers to keep up in a matchup like this, right? I think our deck had a really good draw this game. Like, this is verbatim exactly what this deck wants to be doing with itself, and it's just not gonna be remotely enough here, yeah?
The mystery intrigues me.
I am
We got more stats into play than I was expecting. I just don't, again, I don't know generically that these numbers we put into play here are necessarily enough if we're not being interactive. But we did get 31 and 29, which is like pretty big. Like I know we lost this particular game, but like this might be fine. Their deck's just obviously a much better 7-turn deck than we are, yeah. If this had been a 6-turn game, we would have had more numbers with them on 6. Yes, the way Proxima makes you need to care about your weak lanes is not good against Living Tribunal. Is very, very true. I will say playing that game and feeling the numbers makes me think I'm happy with the She-Hulk as a backup plan in here. Copying Proxima has felt pretty reasonable though. And I definitely feel like with our discard package, we have enough stats for that. If I were to think about odd cards out or flex slots that you could maybe play around with in here, Armor and Meek are probably the cards I'm not certain of, but I am relatively certain that you probably want those slots to be something that, you probably want those slots to be something that you could play proactively before turn 4. Do you expect Infinity tickets to be a hella gauntlet? Yes, 100%. Not close. Yes, Proxima will jump to your second weakest lane if your weakest is full. To your weakest with an available spot. This stupid hub, chat. Rip. This hub card wasn't here. I could go Wasp, Moon Girl, and copy these 3, and it would be fucking great. The deck you played a few months with Gladiator, the 8 people's decks be good against the current Hela. No, trying to play Gladiator against Hela is not good. Decidedly not good. If I do this, it draws me the remainder of my deck guaranteed, which gives me a 3 energy She-Hulk and a Lady Sif I can play on the last turn, along with my Wasp out, which sounds great. I should have snapped them, probably. I guess they have that, which can be scary. The Tribunal deck is a hella beater, yes. That is why that deck has become popular. This beats Odin middle, and this maybe beats the cat on the right. I don't really care. Oh, Odin procs Medusa. Yeah, good shout. It's fine, we scared him. I forgot about Medusa, chat. I have no idea if it's worth considering playing for Proxima even if you have Meek. Gamers, normalize not asking content creators their opinion on new cards less than 2 hours after they released. Maybe by the end of the stream we'll have something that's like loosely informed. If you want an actual, honest, informed answer. If you just want someone to tell you, yes, open your loot boxes because you're itching to open your loot boxes, go open your loot boxes, chat. Have fun.
Snap.
Jeff gave me permission to open my loot boxes. Sure did. Sure did. God, all these locations that generate random shit in your hand are so annoying. Just want them to stop. Every time I play Moon Girl, I'm convinced there's too many of those locations. Yep, you're not alone. Saint Lovejoy! Thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. Oof. Well, I'm glad we got one Proxima down this at least. I'll soak up some sun. Got me. Seems like Meek is a cut. I don't know. He's like a 1-3 to 1-4. Wanting to cut armor while I'm currently playing into an unreveal deck is a peak Twitch chat suggestion. Well, my tech card didn't line up this time around. Better swap it out for something else, Jeff. Truth's Advocate. Thank you for the third of the year. Welcome back. But Jeff, if you don't swap out armor, we can't suggest putting it back in the deck when you queue into destroy. Alright, I think I'm gonna retire this one for now, and maybe we'll try some other builds. It definitely feels like, while there were some okay things here, on average, our total power output range doesn't feel like it's enough to keep up with the more linear decks in the format, and I don't think there's room to play tech cards like Shang-Chi and Enchantress in a deck like this, so if you can't play tech cards like that and you don't have enough points to keep up with the other decks, it's probably just something to retire.